Striker Scorpion 82 is now sponsored by Warhammer Combat Cards, a card battle game featuring your favourite Citadel miniatures from the 40k universe. Build your army decks, dominate opponents in player versus player action, collect and upgrade cards to fit your strategy, improve their power and unlock unique traits. Choose from all 40k factions, take part in campaigns based on iconic 40k battles, rise to the top of the leaderboard and win glory. Free to download and play, link is in the video description below or on the channel homepage, and by using the unique link it helps support the channel. Thanks and enjoy the game. Right, welcome to this review for the new Codex supplement for DEATHWATCH Space Marines. Big thanks to Games Workshop for sending me a copy of this book ahead of time. For discount 40k, check out our sponsors here on the channel at gamingfigures.com, discount 40k, and then a load of other gaming systems, paints and accessories and so on, all available from them at a discounted rate. The link for them will be in the video description below. So, DEATHWATCH Space Marines. I don't collect these, but Aaron Allen on the channel collects DEATHWATCH, a very nice collection of those, so they will be well represented on the channel. So the angle I'm going to come from, I'm going to review the book, the contents of the book, and then come from the angle, if I was going about collecting a DEATHWATCH army, then what combinations and things would I go for. So I'm going to review it of interest here, a sort of theoretical, if I was going to collect these, what direction I would go. So DEATHWATCH, it's elements, all the chapters, hand-picked men, and then going on sort of surgical strikes, well-planned operations and so on. So that's the kind of army you're trying to put together, where you can execute a really good plan. That's good fun. If you can come up with a good plan, execute it really well on the battlefield and bring about victory, it's a great way to play 40k. So with that in mind, we'll have a little look through the artwork as well. 64 pages this one, quite thin, quite small, but it's the wider format now of these books. If you haven't checked it out already, Space Wolves, that book's already been reviewed and they seem to have come off okay. Don't say anything out particularly outstanding, but there's some good stuff in there with them for sure. So, lovely artwork. The doom of all Xenos, and that's their speciality, is hunting down and destroying Xenos foes, the enemy without. The Honour of Vigil. Lovely artwork, nicely spaced out, things don't feel crushed, it's just very spaced out, plenty of room for all the artwork, which is good. Games Workshop, it's good that they're showing off all the artwork that's available. Every page is presentation is fantastic. As you've seen with all these codexes, beautiful work. The shield that slays. See it again, text across here, nice large image. Brilliant. Different war zones. Kill Team Cassius, Watch Captain Artemis. Showcase of all the models. Obviously going to be fighting against Xenos, against Orcs, Instead Cults. Drukhari this time around. Yeah, the Razorback looks quite nice, painted up for DEATHWATCH. Nice Corvus Black Star. They are fighting away, and some of the newer Primaris stuff painted up for DEATHWATCH. Yeah. Very nice. Okay, and then we're on to the rules here. So that's for half the books, the fluff and background stories, page 31. That's just sort of an index of what's inside. An example of a combat patrol. This model here is particularly nice. That is it's a Primaris Lieutenant. Is that the one from one of the original ones that came out? It could be. It's very nicely painted up. Yeah, Lieutenants with a red band and white edge on both sides. It looks quite nice actually for the DEATHWATCH. So detachment abilities, before we come to that, it's probably worth just linking it in with the actual rulebook. So as I understand it rightly, you have access to units inside here, and then there's a rule around here, DEATHWATCH. So Xenos Hunters, Each time model this tactic makes a melee attack against Tyranids, Eldari, Orc, Necrons or Tau Empire unit, reroll hit rolls of 1. So, very, very handy against Xenos. And then it also says, after both sides have finished deploying their armies, select one battlefield roll until the end of the battle. Each time model with this tactic makes an attack against an enemy unit with that battlefield roll, reroll wound rolls of 1. So further bonus on top of that. So for example, you're going to say, right, I'm going to select troops, and then when you roll hits against them, an attack, so it's shooting or close combat, and you're rerolling your 1s to wound. Very useful, very easy rules to remember. Great. No chaos here. It's specifically Xenos that they are better at fighting against. They literally are. You're getting your reroll 1s and reroll 1s to wound against a certain battlefield roll as well. So excellent rules, nice and easy to remember during the game. So then you've got detachment abilities. So you have mission tactics. So do not use the rules in Codex Space Marines to determine which combat doctrine is active for your army during each battle round. Instead, you're not using the usual rules for combat doctrines, but this is what you have here. Instead, at the start of each battle round, select the Devastator doctrine, Tactical doctrine, or Assault doctrine. The combat doctrine you select is active for your army to the end of that battle round. Note, however, that when reselecting a combat doctrine at the start of the battle round, these are the guidelines here. You cannot select the Devastator doctrine to be active for your army more than once during the battle. So you're still limited to that, but you can choose when you wanted to bring it in. It doesn't have to be on turn 1. You cannot select the Tactical doctrine to be active for your army more than twice during the battle. So the flexibility is on what turn you choose to have it, and you cannot select the Assault doctrine to be active for your army more than 3 times during the battle. So there is some restrictions, but it's obviously a lot more flexible than regular Space Marines. So I think Deathwatch are off to a good start here. So straightforward rules. You're choosing, there's a relative amount of freedom. So you're choosing your doctrine when you want it to happen. You're getting your reroll 1s, and you're selecting a certain type of enemy unit, and you're getting reroll 1s to wound against them. So some nice straightforward rules, and generally decent bonuses across the board for Deathwatch forces. So I think they're off to a good start here. Very good. Right, now, so as I've been told in the previous review, access to, I believe, Space Marine stratagems, and then also each supplement gets their own unique stratagems. And I've also been told that the total should be 50 stratagems in total, I believe. So there'll be 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So there's 18 here. And then there will be 32 over in the Space Marine Codex. Yeah, sort of. There's 34 in the Space Marine Codex, but maybe some of those are not for the Deathwatch, so roughly about 50 each. So we'll go through these. What we're looking for is ones that are going to be the mainstay, going to be the good ones that Deathwatch players can use. If there are any, we'll see. Notice that for 8th edition, there was a deluge of stratagems, and many of them are sort of ones you'd never use. The benefit was pretty much useless. So we'll see if these are worth using, which ones are any good. So first one is Death to the Alien. 1 command point, use this stratagem in the fight phase when a Deathwatch unit from your army is selected to fight. At the end of that phase, while that unit is within engagement range of any Tyranids, Eldari, Orc, Necrons, Taus, or Xenos units, add 1 to the attacks characteristic of models in that unit. It's a +1 attack. Immediately after. Okay, it's great. Yep, I think that's going to be used a lot. Just play an extra attack. Don't have to charge, just get an extra attack. And it costs you 1 command point. Fantastic, great stratagem. Prognosticating Volley. 1 command point, use a stratagem in shooting phase. The Deathwatch unit from your army is selected to shoot. Until the end of the phase, each time model that unit makes a ranged attack against an Eldari unit, you can ignore any or all hit, roll and ballistic skill modifiers for that attack, which is pretty much -1, because it can't get worse than that, but it lets you ignore that. Again, maybe, yeah, useful enough if you need it. Synaptic Severance. 1 command point, use a stratagem in shooting phase or fight phase. A Deathwatch unit for your army is selected to shoot or fight. At the end of that phase, each time model that unit makes an attack against the Tyranid Synapse unit, an unmodified hit roll of a 6 automatically wounds the target, so it's there if you need it. Very specific, that one though. Adaptive Tactics. 2 command points. Use a stratagem in your command phase if a watch master unit from your army is on the battlefield. Change the battlefield role selected for the purposes of the Xenos Hunter chapter tactic for your army. That's the Codex Space Marines. You can only use a stratagem once. Okay, so that reroll ones to wound can be switched to a different battlefield role. Chapter tactics. There's a permanent change by the looks of it. I don't know, all the enemy troops are gone. You need help getting rid of their elites. Pay 2 command points and switch over to reroll ones against them. Yeah, so helpful enough. These are all pretty helpful, these stratagems. Not too bad at all. I can't see any problem here. I think Deathwatch may well get a strong supplement here, we'll see. And of course, leave your comments below if you're a seasoned Deathwatch player. I know Deathwatch haven't always been the strongest, but maybe it's their time now to get a good deal here with this Codex supplement. We'll see. But leave your own feedback. Be interesting to see what other Deathwatch players have to say. So, Atonement through Honour. 1 command point. Use a stratagem in your opponent's charge phase. Select one Deathwatch unit from your army that contains a black shield. That unit can perform heroic intervention this phase as if it were a character unit. So again, tactically very useful. Sanction of the Black Vault. 1 command point. Use this stratagem before the battle when you're mustering your army. If your Warlord has the Deathwatch keyword, select one Deathwatch model in your army that has the word Sergeant in their profile. Then you just, it's the same as previous ones. Codexes for Space Marines, you're just gaining access to following relics of the Watch Fortress, even though they're not a character. So it's Artificer Armor, Mastercrafted Weapon, Digital Weapons, Bane Bolts of Erixia, Artificer Bolt Cache. Interesting. Each relic in your army must be unique, and you cannot use a stratagem to give a model 2 relics. You can only use this once per. You know, use a stratagem once. So it depends on how good these relics are. And then a Vigil Unmatched, 1 command point. Use a stratagem after nominating a Deathwatch character model that is not a named character to be your Warlord. You can generate an additional Warlord trait for them. Alright, great, so that's that. Stem the Green Tide, sounds like anti-Orc here. Use 2 command points. Use a stratagem in the charge phase after enemy Orc units declared a charge against one or more Deathwatch units from your army. The Deathwatch units that were selected as the target of that charge can fire Overwatch at that Orc unit. Okay, so you get Overwatch. So what's the deal? What's the extra? Until the end of the phase, if any models from that Orc unit are destroyed as a result of Overwatch, subtract 2 from charge rolls made for that unit. So it could slow them down. You know, at a 9-inch charge, all of a sudden you need an 11-inch charge. It could help out in the right situation, but it's 2 command points, so it's not cheap. I guess useful, more valuable if that Orc unit has declared a charge against multiple units, because they'll all get to Overwatch. So yeah, useful enough. But only very specific circumstances. It's very special. Some of these stratagems very specialised. Priority Doctrine Adoption. 1 command point. Use the stratagem in your command phase. Select one Deathwatch unit from your army. Then select one Combat Doctrine to the start of your next command phase. That unit gains the bonus to the Combat Doctrine you selected instead of the active Combat Doctrine. So you have more flexibility there. You can only use a stratagem if every unit in your army has the Deathwatch keyword, excluding agents of the Imperium and unaligned units. So that's helpful. Targeting Scramblers, 1 command point. Use a stratagem in your opponent's shooting phase after a Tau Empire unit has resolved its shooting attacks against a Deathwatch unit from your army. Remove all Markerlight counters. Okay, interesting. There's nothing they can do to stop it. God, you just shake off the Overwatch markers, or the Markerlight hits. Nice. Very useful. Strategic Ploy stratagem next is Overkill, 1 command point. Use a stratagem in your shooting phase or fight phase after making attacks with a Deathwatch unit from your army against the Necrons unit. Your opponent must subtract 1 from reanimation protocol rolls made for that Necrons unit as a result of those attacks. Nice. So let's try and cripple a Necron unit there with that one. So I guess, you know, there are always different Xenos types listed. When you come to a battle, you're going to be fighting against maybe one of those Xenos armies. And so therefore you just pick out the relevant stratagem, just keep it near you to remind you, and just keep the others tucked away. So, you know, you sort of take it as a very specialist stratagems to use. Brotherhood of Veterans, 2 command points. Use a stratagem in your command phase. Select one Deathwatch unit from your army and select a tactic or successor tactic. So at the end of the turn, models that unit have the chapter tactic or successor tactic instead of the Xenos Hunter's chapter tactic. Quite costly though, it's 2 command points for that one. Disruptive launch next, 1 command point, use a stratagem movement phase. When a Deathwatch jump pack unit, Indomitor, kill team unit that contains an Inceptor, a Proteus kill team unit that contains a Vanguard veteran jump pack from your army falls back, that unit is eligible to shoot even though it fell back this turn. That is very useful. Really useful. Excellent one. Fall back and shoot. Yeah, sometimes Deathwatch units really kitted up with decent firepower. We worry too much about close combat. If you're able to pull out close combat and then let rip with a powerful volley into a unit that perhaps you've been fighting against, or swing out and shoot at another unit, that's excellent. So disruptive launch is great. Teleportarium, 1 command point. So I guess that's putting units into deep strike. Use a stratagem during deployment. Select 1 Deathwatch infantry, dreadnought, or biker unit from your army. All models in that unit gain the teleport strike ability. That's in the Codex Space Marine book. You can only use a stratagem once unless you're playing Strike Force battle, in which case you can use it twice, or an onslaught, in which you can use it 3 times. Relentless Assault, 1 command point. Use a stratagem movement phase. When a Deathwatch biker unit or kill team unit that contains a veteran biker or outrider from your army falls back, that unit is eligible to charge even though it fell back this turn. So that's in there as well. Biker, veteran biker outriders. It's only for the bikers though. A Shroud Field, 2 command points. Use this stratagem at the start of the first battle round. Select 1 Corvus Black Star unit from your army. Until the end of the battle round, that unit cannot be selected as a target for ranged attacks unless it's the closest eligible target for the firing model. Wow, that's fantastic. God, so you're going to protect that unit. Wow. Yeah, so you're pretty much going to keep that unit safe unless the opponent's able to swing around and get close enough to it. So wow, that's fascinating on that one. Clavis then, 1 command point, use a stratagem at the start of the fight phase. Select 1 enemy vehicle within an inch of a Watchmaster unit from your army. The unit suffers D3 mortal wounds, and until the end of the phase, that unit is not eligible to fight until all other eligible units have done so. So useful enough. And then special issue loadout. Use a stratagem in your shooting phase when you select a Deathwatch infantry unit from your army to shoot. To the end of the phase, bolt weapons, excluding bolt sniper rifles, see Codex Space Marines without the special issue ammunition ability. The models in that unit are equipped with gain the special issue ammunition ability, and the type characteristic is changed to Heavy 1. That costs 2 command points for that one. So, okay. So what we have here is Kill Team Specialisms. Next, something unique here for the Deathwatch. They cost points or power levels, depending on what way you're calculating your army. If your army is battle forged and includes any Deathwatch detachments, excluding auxiliary, support, or super heavy auxiliary or fortifications, then when you muster your army, you can upgrade any kill team units from your army to have a specialism. If you have a Crusade force, it's also possible for some character units to gain a specialism as described on page 46. It's open to both types of play, but units then are able to take on a specialism here. Each time you upgrade one of your aforementioned units, you must select the specialism it will take. You can upgrade any kill team units. So it's not just limited to one, you can upgrade as many units as you want by the looks of it. Its power rating is increased as shown on the table below. If you're playing a match play game, then the points value goes up and so on. Make a note in your army roster. Each time you upgrade a unit to have a specialism, it gains a keyword that matches its specialism and the associated ability below. These units are still considered to be the same data sheet for the purposes of any mission rules and your for units in your army. With the exception of Kill Team Cassius, see below, a Crusade force cannot start with any units upgraded in this manner. To include one in a Crusade force, you must use the Kill Team Specialism requisition. And then any army and a Crusade army cannot contain more than one Kill Team unit with the same specialism. Right, so there it is. So you can't duplicate. Yep. With the exception of units upgraded using the Masters of the Specialisms rules. Okay. So you can take multiple ones, but you can't take the same one on multiple units. So the first one then, Kill Team Cassius. If your army's battle forged and includes Kill Team Cassius, page 57, so we'll take a look at that a bit later on. As part of any Deathwatch detachment, excluding auxiliary support detachments, that unit is upgraded to have the Aquila specialism. Even if this would cause your army to contain more than one unit with the Kill Team specialism, this upgrade does not increase the power rating or points value of that unit, and does not prevent you from upgrading another unit to have the Aquila specialism. So just saying an extra there about Kill Team Cassius. So here they are, there's 6 of them. Here, so the first one's Aquila. That will cost +1 power or an extra 25 points. After selecting a battlefield role for the purposes of the Xenos Hunters chapter tactic for your army. Okay, so you've chosen troops, you can get reroll wounds against troops, or reroll wound rolls of 1. So after you've done that, select one additional battlefield role. To end the battle, each time model on this unit makes an attack against an enemy unit with either of the selected battlefield rolls, reroll wound rolls of 1. So just expand it out, so it just lets you go, this unit's going to, battlefield rolls where it's going to reroll 1s to wound against troops, and then you just get to pick another one, so heavies or elites, for example. So 25 points for that. It's okay. Yeah, I'm looking for something with a bit more value to it. Venator next. Each time model in this unit makes an attack against an enemy unit with a fast attack or flyer battlefield roll, reroll wound rolls of 1. If you select the fast attack or flyer battlefield roll for Xenos Hunters chapter tactic, each time model in this unit makes an attack against an enemy unit with that battlefield roll, you can reroll the wound roll. Okay, this costs 25. It costs 25 points +1 power. Next is Malleus. Each time model in this unit makes an attack against an enemy unit with a heavy support Lord of War or dedicated transport battlefield roll, reroll wound rolls of 1. And if you selected a heavy support Lord of War or dedicated transport battlefield roll for the Xenos Hunters chapter tactic, each time model in this unit makes an attack against an enemy unit with that battlefield roll, you can reroll the wound roll. Okay, and then Dominatus. Each time model in this unit makes an attack against an enemy unit with the elites battlefield roll, reroll wound rolls of 1. Yes, they're a little bit flat, these, as in a bit repetitive. If you selected the elites battlefield roll for the Xenos Hunters chapter tactic, each time model in this unit makes an attack against an enemy unit with that battlefield roll, you can reroll the wound roll. These are all going to be the same here. Führer is each time model in this unit makes an attack against an enemy unit with the troops battlefield roll, reroll wound rolls of 1. And then again, if you select the troops battlefield roll for Xenos Hunters chapter tactic, each time on this unit makes an attack against an enemy unit with that battlefield roll, you can reroll the wound roll. And the same structure here for Purgatus. It's against HQ choices, rerolling wound rolls of 1, or in other circumstances it's reroll the wound roll. So yeah, it's okay. Nothing too exciting. They're all similar. So Führer and Malleus is +2 power and 35 points each. The rest are +1 power and 25 points a time. So Warlord traits next. Looking for a couple of strong ones here. So far in the codexes I've looked at, there's a lot of decent enough Warlord traits, but there's none so far that have been utterly amazing, but we'll see. Vigilance Incarnate then, number 1. In your command phase, you can select one friendly Deathwatch core unit within 6 inches of the Warlord. Each time you do so, select one battlefield roll. To the start of your next command phase, each time model in that unit makes an attack against an enemy unit, so the battlefield roll, you reroll wind rolls of 1. So that's available. Paragon of their chapter. Select one Warlord trait from the chapter Warlord traits for this Warlord. Replace all instances of that chapter's keyword in your Warlord trait with Deathwatch. If this Warlord has the heraldry of one of those chapters, or other than Crimson Fists, Black Templars, Flesh Terror is one of the successor chapters, you must select that chapter's Warlord trait. Note that this cannot be a chapter Warlord trait found in a Codex supplement. Next is Nowhere to Hide. It's an aura. In your command phase, you can select one enemy unit on the battlefield. To the start of your next command phase, while a friendly Deathwatch core unit is within 6 inches of this Warlord, each time model on that friendly unit makes an attack against that enemy unit, it does not receive the benefit of cover. It's okay, it's okay. It's a good start with the Deathwatch, but it's all... it's okay, but... Come on, 3 more chances. Optimised priority, aura ability. On a friendly Deathwatch core or Deathwatch character unit that is performing an action within 6 inches of this Warlord, that unit can make ranged attacks without that action failing. Oh no, another, yes, a bit tame. It's quite rare that happens. Castellan of the Black. I'm looking for something to make the Warlord good. Castellan of the Black Vault. When mastering your armour, you can give one of the following relics to this Warlord: Adamantine Mantle, Artificer Armour, Mastercrafted Weapon, Digital Weapons. This is in addition to any other relics they may have, and each relic in your army must be unique. Okay, so it's that one. And the Ties That Bind. It's an aura ability. This could be morale. While a friendly Deathwatch core unit is within 6 inches of this Warlord, you can reroll morale tests taken for the unit. In your command phase, you can select one friendly Deathwatch core unit within 6 inches of the Warlord. To the start of your next command phase, that unit gains the objective secured ability. If a model in this unit already has that ability, counts as one additional model when determining control of an objective marker. Okay, so named characters then. Chaplain Cassius has optimised priority. Codicia Notorian, Nowhere to Hide, and then Watch Captain Artemis Vigilance Incarnate. So that's the Wall of Traits. Okay, so now we're looking at the relics. 2 pages of relics here for the Deathwatch. See what they got. Okay, so Beacon Angelus sounds familiar. Once per battle, if the bearer did not arrive as reinforcements this turn, it can activate the Beacon Angelus. In the reinforcement step of movement phase, you can select on friendly Deathwatch infantry or bike unit that is either on the battlefield and did not arrive as reinforcements this turn, is in a teleportarium chamber, or is in strategic reserves. That's your options. 3 options to bring this unit in, including if you actually have an existing unit on the battlefield that's infantry or bike, you can pull them across to where you are. Remove that unit from setup as reinforcements wholly within 6 inches of the bearer, and it does have to be more than 9 inches away from enemy models, so still difficult to make the charge with that one, but useful for 9th edition when you're trying to move around the table and grab objectives and so on. Dominus Aegis, model with a Storm Shield, Relic Shield, Combat Shield only. This is the replacement, +1 to armor saves, so that's the same. The bearer has the following ability: Dominus Aegis Aura. While a friendly Deathwatch core or character unit is within 6 inches of the bearer, models in that unit have a 5+ invuln save. That's ridiculous. God, that's fantastic. Yeah, really good. Just grant a 5+ invuln save to everyone nearby, as long as they're core unit or characters. Yeah, pretty good. Osius Key, Watchmaster only, has the following aura ability: while an enemy vehicle unit is within 12 inches of the bearer, each time model in the unit makes an attack, subtract 1 from the unit's attacks, from that attack's hit roll. So -1 to hit rolls, only on the granted to the Watchmaster. Enemy vehicles. Okay, Thief of Secrets, models equipped with Power Sword, Mastercrafted Power Sword, or Xenophase Blade only. So it's the replacement. It gives you +1 strength, even -4 and 1 damage. And then each time an attack is made with this weapon, invuln saves cannot be made against that attack. Each time an attack is made with this weapon is allocated to Xenos, Tyranids, Eldari, Orcs, Necrons, or Tau. It's a damage characteristic of 2, so it does go up to 2. Nice. Yeah, pretty good that, the Thief of Secrets. The Tome of Accolades, once per battle. In your command phase, you can use the Tome of Accolades. If you do, select one datasheet used by a unit from your opponent's army. To the start of your next command phase, the bearer has the following ability: the Tome of Ectoclades. It's an aura. While a friendly Deathwatch core unit is within 6 inches of the bearer, each time model in the unit makes an attack against a unit belonging to the selected datasheet, you can reroll the wound roll. Not bad. Adamantine Mantle is basically a 5+ feel no pain, which is useful enough for sure. You mastercrafted weapon, and you select this relic. Select on weapon that the bearer is equipped to. If this cannot be a relic or a weapon whose profile includes the word mastercrafted, you get +1 damage characteristic to that weapon. Nice. So that's sort of a standard Space Marine rule, I think, that one. Digital weapon, standard Space Marine as well. Each time the bearer fights, you get an additional attack using the close combat weapon profile. But if you hit, the target takes a mortal wound. Artificer armor, 2 up armor save, 5+ invuln. The Black Weave Shroud, +1 toughness to the characteristic of the bearer. Each time the bearer would lose a wound as a result of a mortal wound, it's 4+. Feel no pain. Nice. That's pretty useful. Spear of the First Vigil. Models equipped with Vigil Spear only. This replaces a Vigil Spear and has the following profile. So, Spear of the First Vigil. Range 24, rapid fire 2, strength 4, -1, 2 damage. And Spear of the First Vigil is a melee weapon. +2 strength, 8 -3, and 3 damage. Yep. And it has access to special issue ammunition on page 50. Okay. So next comes the Soul Fortress. So this is for a librarian. Each time a psychic test is made for the bearer, you can ignore any and all modifiers to that test. Increase the range of the bearer's psychic code ability to 24. Okay, and then Bane Bolts of Erixia. Sounds new, I think, this one. When you select this relic, select one bolt weapon. Codex Space Marines the bearer is equipped with. When that model is chosen to shoot with, you can choose for that weapon to fire a Bane Bolt of Erixia. If you do, you can only make one attack with that weapon, but that attack has a strength characteristic of 6, an AP minus of 2, and damage of 3. So you can have that. Vorhawken Pattern Auspicator. The bearer has the following ability. It's an aura ability on a friendly Deathwatch core unit within 6 inches of the bearer. Each time a model in that unit makes a ranged attack against a unit that can fly, add 1 to the hit rolls. So yeah, helpful enough against units that can fly. It's Artificer Bolt Cache, sounds really good. Bolt weapons. See Codex Space Marines that the bearer is equipped with gain the special issue ammunition ability. Okay. Right. And then Eye of Abiding. Each time the bearer makes an attack, you can ignore any and all hit roll, wind roll, ballistic skill, weapon skill modifiers for that attack. Each time the bearer makes an attack, an unmodified wind roll of a 6. Invuln saving throws cannot be made against that attack. Okay, so that's the relics. There's not too bad ones there. Not too bad. Nothing really jumping out of the page too much. Xenopurge Discipline. Next, 6 psychic powers. We'll take a look at these. So we'll take a look at these in Xenopurge Discipline. So 6 powers. Premorphic Resonance is a blessing. A warp charge value of 6 if manifested. Select on friendly Deathwatch unit with 18 of the cycle. Start the next phase. Any Overwatch attacks made by that unit score hits on a 5+. Still got to use a stratagem though, I think. If the unit starts the fight phase within engage range of any models, it can fight first. Each time a melee attack is made by a model on that unit, it's +1 to attack's hit roll. So yeah, sounds okay. Pretty good. Just like nice spread of stuff just for 1 power. And we've seen the pattern that psychic powers seem to be easier to manifest now. A lot of them dropping to about 6. A few at 7, but a lot of them at 6 now, which is quite doable. Fortified with Contempt Blessing. There's a warp charge value of 6 if manifested. Select one friendly Deathwatch infantry or bike unit with 18 of the cycle to the start of your next psychic phase. Each time model in the unit would lose a wound, roll 1d6. On a 5+, the wound is not lost. Okay, so 5+ feel no pain. Neural Void. So warp charge value of 7. If manifested, select one enemy unit with 18 of the cycle to the start of the next psychic phase. You can subtract 1 from the attack's characteristic of models in that unit. Each time a charge is declared for that unit, only the closest enemy unit can be selected as the target of that charge. Yeah, because that could really it's interesting, that one. You have to charge the closest enemy unit, so you know, quite a tactical one. That one there. But how rarely? Oh boy, it's +1, 18. No, it's all right because if you're not using that closest enemy unit ability there, the minimum you're going to get, you subtract 1 from the attack's characteristic of models in that enemy unit. So that can help. But yes, interesting. Psychic Cleanse is number 4. It's a Witch Fire. So warp charge value of 6 if manifested. Roll 1d6 for each enemy model within 9 inches of the cycle. On 6, it's a mortal wound. Mantle of Shadow is a blessing. There's a warp charge value of 6 if manifested. Select one friendly Deathwatch infantry unit within 12 of the cycle to the start of your next psychic phase. If that unit does not shoot or declare a charge, enemy models cannot target that unit with ranged attacks unless they're within 12 inches of it, or it is the closest eligible unit. So another power, you can offer some pretty decent protection just by stopping the enemy from shooting at targets. There's a couple of abilities like that going on here in this book. Interesting. Severance. Last one, Malediction. Severance has a walk charge value of 7. If manifested, select one enemy character unit within 18 of the Psyker. The unit takes a mortal wound. Until the start of your next psychic phase, reduce the range of its aura abilities by 3. If the result of the psychic test was greater than that character unit's leadership characteristic, then until the start of your next psychic phase, enemy units cannot benefit from that unit's aura abilities. So, interesting one, reducing aura abilities by 3. Okay, so, it's not bad. Again, nothing, yeah, it's alright. So, this is actually becoming, as we're doing these reviews, this is turning out to be quite an important page. This is your chapter approved rules and secondaries that are specific to each of the factions or the supplement books. So I think Space War's got some good ones and some ones that are really fluffy and really fun. We'll see if that's the case with these ones here for Deathwatch. I'm really looking for some pretty strong ones where you're able to quite easily pick up points during the game for secondaries, which is a massive part of games of 9th edition 40k. So the Long Vigil, this is Battlefield Supremacy. Just to see what secondaries this rubs up alongside, just to get an idea of what this might be replacing. It's Battlefield Supremacy, so you're not taking engage in all fronts, that's your table quarters, line breaker in the opponent's deployment zone, and then domination, which is very rarely taken for controlling more objective markers. So instead, you've got the Long Vigil. So score 5 victory points at the start of your command phase if there are no enemy units excluding aircraft within 6 inches of your deployment zone. There is at least one Deathwatch unit excluding aircraft from your army wholly within your deployment zone. You cannot score a secondary objective during the first battle round. Okay, so you're trying to keep your own zone clear and keeping at least a unit in there as well, and it's worth 5 points. Yeah, obviously the opponent's going to be aware of that and they might try and stop that from happening. It does put pressure on your opponent, because if your opponent lets that go through, it's going to cost 5 points a turn. You don't have to do it every turn, just 3 turns. Turns 2, 3, 4 and 5, it's available. It's okay, I would probably still go for engage in all fronts. I think that's easier to achieve. That one might be less points, but the flow of points should come in more steadily with that one. Yeah, tricky that one. Purge the enemy next. Cull order. So purge the enemies across here. So instead of taking Titan Hunter, bring it down, cut off the head, which is slay the enemy warlord, destroy big vehicles, or assassinate. There's this one here. So cull order. If you selected the secondary objective, then after both sides are finished deploying, starting with your opponent, both players alternate selecting battlefield roles. So HQ troops and so on and so on. From the units in your opponent's army until 3 different battlefield roles have been selected. If their opponent's army does not include any of the 3 battlefield roles, select as many as possible. At the end of the battle, for each battlefield role that was selected, score 5 victory points if every enemy unit in your opponent's army of that battlefield role was destroyed. So it's wiping out certain battlefield roles. So, troops chosen, got to wipe out all the troops, and if you do that, you get 5 points. Again, I think that's quite difficult. Yeah, quite difficult, that one. Okay, there's 2 more here. 2 more. So, shadow operations. This is performing actions here. Yeah, if you see strength in these, then by all means leave it in the comment section. But these seem okay, but they seem quite hard to fulfill, them ones. Shadow operations then. That's Raise the Banners High, which is quite popular here on the channel. Investigate sites, deploy scramblers, and teleport Homer. So you've got Cripple Stronghold, this one. Not triple, but Cripple Stronghold. If you selected the secondary objective, then after both sides are finished deploying, your opponent must select one objective marker on the battlefield to be the location of their stronghold objective marker. If any objective markers are wholly within your opponent's deployment zone, one or more of those must be selected to be the stronghold objective marker. Must. So if there is one in your opponent's deployment zone, which half the time there is, yeah, that has to be allocated as that one. If you select the secondary objective, then Deathwatch infantry units in your army can attempt the following action as described in the 40k core book. So you're probably trying to land on it and perform the action, gain the points. A cripple stronghold action then. One Deathwatch infantry unit from your army can start to perform this action at the end of your movement phase if it's within range of the stronghold objective marker. No enemy units, excluding aircraft, are in range of the objective marker. So you've got to take it, clear it, take it, sit on top of it, and last until the start of your next turn. So your opponent will have a turn to try and clear you off. This action is completed at the start of your next command phase, or the start of your next turn, so long as the unit performing the action is still within range of the same objective marker. Score 6 victory points each time a unit from your army successfully completes this action. And does it say... Nope, I think you can perform this action on the same objective. Correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't say that you can't do it twice on the same objective, so you could land there, plant yourself there and try and weather the storm on that enemy home objective and just keep raking in the 6 points. Maybe. Okay, interesting that one. No mercy, no respite. So this is going to be thin their ranks, grind them down, where you're trying to compete with the opponent to score more kill points, wipeouts, and you get that's worth 3 points. End the battle round. And then while we stand, we fight as well. So that's trying taking the 5 most expensive models in your army, and that's not money wise, that's points wise, and then trying to keep them alive. For each of those 3 that's left alive at the end of the game, they're worth 5 points each, so a total of 15 available. I've tried that a few times, it's actually quite difficult, that one. So instead you could go for this one. No rest, Suffer Not the Alien. Score 1 victory point at the end of the battle for each enemy Tyranids, Dowry, Orcs, Necrons, Tower Empire unit that was destroyed by a Deathwatch unit from your army. Fantastic, right, there you go. It's kill points. So you're wiping out, obviously you've got to be fighting against those units or that army. No, that's a really good one. Your opponent's usually going to have something between 10 to 15 units, and by the end of the game, it's very unlikely you're going to have killed nothing. You're going to have killed, sort of minimum sort of 5 units, pushing up through to, a grinder of a game at least sort of about 10. So a point of time isn't too bad with that one, and you're just being rewarded for killing the enemy. So you can go around and do other objectives, other secondaries, and as you're doing them, you're just getting rewarded for destroying whole units. So that one's a nice one. Suffer Not the Alien, kill points, nice and straightforward. Bound to get points for that pretty much every game. In some games, the points will flow in. You get the opponents watch some strange army, loads of little weak horde type units or smaller, lightly armoured infantry units. Sometimes, for example, I think Admech, if they have, just thinking of them because I've played them recently, there's a unit of 6 Dragoons. Yeah, is that a unit? Do they break off? No, I think it's something else. Yeah, my Orcs and their mech guns. You purchase them as unit of 3, for example, but then once the game begins, they break off into individual units. So, I've got 6 of them in the army. The opponent picks all 6 of those off. That's 6 points. Sort of smaller, minor units. They'll count towards this tally. So that's actually quite appetising, that one. So great. Suffer Not the Alien. It's about one of the best. Nice and straightforward. You should pick up points for that, no problem. Okay, so on to Crusade. Not really into Crusade, and I'll move through these, but there's the rules, agendas, requisitions, battle traits, master of the specialisms, battle scars, special issue equipment, Crusade relics. Right, so we're on to data sheets here. Okay, so abilities, right, so we'll cover the rules here for special issue ammunition. It's probably pretty much as it was. I don't think Games Workshop would have tampered with this too much, but could be wrong. So each time a unit is selected to shoot, if it contains any models that are equipped with weapons of this ability, then before you select any targets, each weapon with this ability can fire special issue ammunition. If any do, select one of the ammunition types below for the weapon until the end of the phase. Each time that weapon is fired, apply the modifiers and abilities associated with the special issue ammunition. So, 4 options. Dragon fire bolts. Each time an attack is made with a weapon firing a special issue ammunition, the target doesn't receive the benefit of cover. So, it's okay, just strip cover away. Hellfire rounds. Each time attack is made a weapon firing this special issue ammunition against a unit that does not have the Titanic or vehicle keyword. +1 to that attack's wound roll. +1 to wounds. Nice. Yep. Very useful. Has that changed? Is that where it used to be always 2s to wound? It's now just +1. So it's kind of not as good really. And usually +1 to wound is helpful against things like vehicles, but it says you can't use it against vehicles. So it's kind of been taking a bit of a hit, that one, I think. Kraken bolts. Each time attack is made of a weapon firing a special issue ammunition. It's +6 inches to the range characteristic and improve the AP by 1. This is cumulative with AP bonus for combat doctrines. Yeah, it's not bad. Extra 6-inch range and a further AP -1 is fine. Vengeance rounds. Each time attack is made of a weapon firing a special issue ammunition, add 1 to the damage characteristic of that attack. And that is very useful as well. 2 damage. Yes, they're all great. Pretty good. So on to mixed units here. So really need to go through this, I don't think. Just how you can mix your units up. For Deathwatch, you know, that's their play style. You can have different types of units all in the same group together. So Terminators, regular infantry, jump pack models and so on. Bikers mixed in with the squads as well. So it's talking about that with mixed units. So creating a kill team, and you think, well, you know, kill team's a separate gaming system, but here it's you can create units to fit within your Deathwatch force. So when you're mustering your army or adding a unit to your order of battle, you can create a kill team unit. A kill team unit can be comprised of models from several different depths of Astartes data sheets, as described below. You can add any number of kill team units to your army, subject to the usual restrictions. Each kill team has the troops battlefield role. So creating a kill team unit contains between 5 to 10 models. Overleaf, you'll find details of the 4 different kill team units available. Each will specify which models and how many of each model can be included in that kill team unit. So this is fun. This must be fun to put this together. I guess if you don't know, if you're in like a league situation here for our games, and you know there's games to play all over the place against different types, then sort of usually you'd be thinking about trying to make an all-rounder kill team that can be used whoever you're fighting against, just to keep that in mind, not making it too hyper specialist. But usually, I mean, you can create a kill team where you want a kill team to be really good in close combat. That's going to apply to any of the factions. You know, it's going to be a universal requirement, whoever you're fighting against. Or you might have a unit that you want really flexible, that can pull in and out of close combat if that's an option. So you can certainly customize ready for any army that you take on. So abilities, model of a kill team unit retains any abilities and so on, keywords, power rating. So we'll skip through that bit and then we'll go on to the 4 different kill team types. So between 5 to 10 models, it'll give you the outline for it here, and then it's a different type of kill team. So Proteus kill team, a Fortis kill team, an Indomitor kill team, and then a Spectrus kill team. Does sound very exciting. We'll see how effective these kill teams are. And you want to be a bit scary and to do their job well. We'll see. So we've looked through the Codex so far, and it's been okay. There's some pretty good stratagems out there, but here could be our little treasure trove. We'll see. Proteus kill team. So Proteus kill team contains 1 watch sergeant, 4 Deathwatch veterans, and you can add any 5 of the following. So that's your core starting base. This does look very fun. I think this is going to be fun. So you can then add on top of that a Deathwatch veteran, one Deathwatch Terminator, 1 veteran biker, 1 Vanguard veteran. So that's your options. So it's a unit of 9 maximum. Yeah, I think. You can add any 5 of the following. Any 5. So you could take 3 Terminators, I guess. Yeah, so it's very flexible. Abilities then. Veteran bikers can only use the turbo boost ability if their unit only contains veteran biker models. such as after using the Combat Doctrines ability. Okay, so that's saying maybe if the others are slain and it's just the biker, it can then turbo boost. Something like that, maybe. So keywords. Proteus kill team has the following keywords. Note that they are not faction keywords. Infantry core. That's just core unit. Nice. They can get them benefits. It's kill team unit and Proteus. So in addition, the unit can gain the following keywords. So while a Proteus kill team unit contains any Vanguard veterans, it has the Melter Bombs keyword. While a Proteus kill team unit only contains Vanguard veterans or jump packs, it also has the Fly keyword. While a Proteus kill team unit only contains Deathwatch Terminators, it has the Terminator keyword. And then while a Proteus kill team unit only contains Veteran Bikers, it has the Biker keyword. So I guess this is just covering what happens if the regular models are slain and you're left with the specific unit type. They then get the keyword back again if they're going to operate. Lone Biker's just not stuck without his keywords. It then reverts to its normal rules. Once that unit's broken down, it's just that model left. I think that's what's going on here. Power rating. Proteus kill team has a power rating of 7. If you add any models, then the Veterans +1 power, the Terminators +2, the Bikers +2, and the Vanguard Veteran is +2. So your abilities then, it's just the rules for that. Just trying to look to see what actually you get. So I think it's this bit here. Well, a Proteus kill team unit contains any Vanguard veterans. It has the Melter Bombs keyword. So the whole unit has it. Okay. Interesting. I'm looking around for some kind of... Well, we'll move on. Fortis kill team. So it contains 1 Intercessor Sergeant, 4 Intercessors, and then any 5 of the following models. So an Intercessor, an Assault Intercessor, 1 Outrider, or a Hellblaster. You can put a Hellblaster in the squad. So the Fortis additional war gear options. So any Intercessor or Intercessor Sergeant can have their bolt rifle replaced with one of the following: an auto bolt rifle or stalker bolt rifle. Any Hellblaster can have their plasma incinerator replaced with an assault plasma incinerator or a heavy plasma incinerator. So just your war gear flexibility. And then abilities. The devastating charge ability only applies to Outriders in this detachment, and Outriders can use a turbo boost ability if the unit contains Outriders, such as after using the combat squad's ability. Keywords then. In addition, it gains the following keywords. So it could be me just missing it here, but I'm struggling to see what you get. I can see the flexibility of adding models in. You're picking models from different units and grouping them together in a squad, making them quite specialist in that regard. But what do you get extra on top of that? You've got power rating, keywords being added on. There's the abilities just applied to the original model types. So for example, the devastating charge ability only applies to Outriders, so it's just normal for them. The war gear is pretty much just usual war gear swap outs. So I'm not entirely, maybe I've missed it. Check the comments and see what others are saying. But I can't see major bonuses going on here other than sort of the flexibility of pulling a kill team together to have that flexibility of the actual war gear and unit types that you mix in. The Indomitor kill team is 1 heavy intercessor sergeant, 4 heavy intercessors, and you can add the following in. So another heavy intercessor, an aggressor, an inceptor, and 1 eradicator. The options then, the Indomitor kill team, any heavy intercessor or heavy intercessor sergeant can have their heavy bolt rifle replaced with autobolt rifle, heavy stalker bolt rifle. Any aggressor that's the loadout for them. Inceptor's loadouts, just all the different loadouts you can go for. The following change to 1 ability applies. Only eradicators in this unit can shoot twice when this unit uses the total obliteration ability. Right, so it's more restrictions almost. Keywords. For example, here again, while Indomitor kill team unit only contains Inceptors, it has the fly keyword. So I think I was looking for like Proteus kill team has a certain extra ability, but it doesn't seem to be. It just really is your structure is being covered here and the way the keywords interact with those units. That's pretty much it. So I was looking for sort of golden nugget. You know, the Indomitor kill team is +1 to wound rolls or AP -2, I don't know, something like that. Spectrus Kill Team is the last one. That lets you take... it contains an infiltrator sergeant and 4 infiltrators, and you can add to that 1 infiltrator, an incursor, reavers, and then eliminators as well. It's good fun making your own specialist team. I don't think I really need to go over this because it's just your... No, so that's your structure for those. So I'm not going to go through all the stats here and all the points. I'll briskly go through a few of the points here, and then just to give you a flavour of what's going on points wise, and then I'll look out here, pick out a few stats. So Watchmaster first of all, maybe he's gone up in wounds. It's 6 wounds for him. We've seen that some of the changes with the new Codex is damage being a bit more potent with shooting and melee weapons. That's the sort of the main thing I'm looking out for, and then a lot of the abilities changing around as well. Probably quite predictable probably what's going to happen to some of these. So the spear is range 24, rapid fire 1, strength 4, -1, 2 damage, and it does have special issue ammunition. The vigil spear, +1 strength, 8 -3 and D3 damage in close combat. 4+ invuln saves kept with the Iron Halo, Angels of Death from Space Marines. The Watchmaster then, in your command phase, you select one friendly Deathwatch core or character unit within 6. It's reroll hit rolls of 1 for that unit. And the Rites of Battle is a Deathwatch core unit within 6 inches. Each time a model in that unit makes an attack, it's reroll 1s on top of that as well. Yeah, and sorry, it's the Watchmaster is reroll the hit roll. So you can just reroll anything, not failed hit rolls, but they're switching over now to just reroll anything you want. So that's okay. Watch Captain Artemis, 5 wins, 4 attacks for him. Don't think there's much change in the base stat line. Hellfire Extremis. So you can go for the bolt gun, which is range 24, rapid fire 1, strength 4, -0, 1 damage, special issue ammunition, and the Hellfire Flamer. Assault D6, range 12, strength 2, AP 0, 1 damage. Each time an attack is made with this weapon, this attack automatically hits the target, unless that target has the vehicle or Titanic keywords. A wound roll of 2+ for the attacks is always successful. And the Mastercrafted Power Sword for him is +1 strength, 8 -3 and 2 damage. Stasis Grenade. It was called a Stasis Bomb before. A Stasis Grenade. Range 6, grenade 1. This weapon can only be used once per battle. Each time an attack is made with this weapon, if a hit is scored, the target suffers D6 mortal wounds. I don't think that's changed. Aaron's thrown a few of those at me during our games. I think it was D6 mortal wounds. Angels of Death, Rites of Battle. So core units rerolling 1s within 6 inches. Unstoppable Champion. Each time this model would lose a wound, so 6+ feel no pain, and a 4+ invuln save. I don't think he's really changed that much. Champion Cassius next. So weapon skill 2+, 4 wounds for him, 4 attacks. The Artificer Crozius, +2 strength, 8 -2, 2 damage. We'll come to points a bit later on. Angels of Death, Spiritual Leaders. Deathwatch core unit within 6 inches. Models in that unit can use his leadership. Fiery Conviction. It's +1 to listening roll, so 2 ups. Fantastic, that's very useful. 4+ invuln save for the Rosarius. It says as a designer's note here, this datasheet is intended to represent Chaplain Cassius as an earlier point of his life than the datasheet presented in Codex Supplement Ultramarines. As such, if you want to field a thematic Deathwatch army, we recommend that it does not contain both this unit and Primaris units. Ooh. And then Priest. This model knows the Litany of Hate and 1 other litany. In your command phase, this model is on the battlefield. It can recite 1 litany it knows that has not been already recited. It's a 3+, but then it's +1. Codicia. Oh, interesting. Codicia Notorian. I've not heard of him. We'll go for everything for this guy. So, movement 6, weapon skill 2+, ballistic skill 3+, strength 4, toughness 4, 4 wounds, 3 attack, leadership 9, and 3 up saves. So quite basic. He's equipped with a bolt pistol, a Deathwatch bolt pistol, duties revelation, frag grenades, crack grenades. Okay, 1 per army. The bolt pistol, which is special issue ammunition, and then duties revelation is +1 strength, 8 -4, and D3 damage. Angels of Death, Psychic Hood, Battle Psyche. Each time this model attempts to manifest Smite or a Witchfire power, it's +1 to the Psychic test, and he can manifest 2 Psychic powers. No Smite. And it can attempt to deny 1. 2 powers from the Xenopurge discipline. Okay. Deathwatch Veterans. I don't think I really will have a quick look through here. The main change is obviously going up to 2 wounds each for these. 2 attacks base. The Watch Sergeant 3 attacks. The Black Shield 3 attacks as well. Nice base amount of attacks. I think this might have... Okay, the Deathwatch Frag Cannon then. So range 12, with, you select to either of the profiles. So you've got your frag rounds, range 12, assault 2d3, strength 6, -1, 1 damage and blast. And the shell is range 24, assault 2, strength 7, -2 and 2 damage. The Deathwatch Shotgun. I'll put this one in. Before selecting target, select profile. So you've got the Crypt Clearer, range 18, assault 2, strength 5, -0, 1 damage. The Worm's Breath, range 8, assault d6. It's auto hits on the target, strength 4, -0, 1 damage. And the Xeno Purge round from the shotgun, range 12, assault 2, strength 4, -1, 2 damage. Nice. The Infernus Heavy Bolter. You can select both rounds, but it's -1 to the hit rolls, I believe. So you got the Heavy Bolter round, range, which is usual rules, Heavy Bolter, damage 2, remember now. And then the Heavy Flamer, usual rules for that, range 12, heavy d6, auto hits, strength 5, -1, 1 damage. The Stalker Pattern Bolt Gun, usual rules for that, damage 2. And it does have special issue ammunition rules as well. The Heavy Thunderhammer, ×2 strength, -3 and 4 damage. Oof. But it's -1 to hit roll. Power Sword, which is usual rules, but it's +1 strength now for Power Swords, damage 1. Combat Shield is a 5+ invuln save, but crucially now for the Combat Shield, which may make a bit of a comeback, is +1 to armor saving throws. And the Stalker Shield, 4+ invuln save and +1 to armor saving throws. The Black Shield here, Black Shield is equipped with 2 melee weapons. If it is, you get an extra attack. So you've got 4 attacks base, 5 attacks on the charger if they are charged, or heroic intervention. Nice. And then you've got the Specialist Kill Team here, Kill Team Cassius. So that's made up of the Veteran, the Watch Sergeant, the Terminator, Veteran Biker and 2 Vanguard Veterans. Usual rules for them, I believe. It gives you the exact loadout of what they're equipped with. Yep. Deathwatch Heavy Flamer. Deathwatch Heavy Flamer. No. Good. Deathwatch Heavy Flamer. Before selecting target, select one of the profiles below. Each time an attack is made with this weapon, that attack automatically hits the target. Nice. So these are all going to hit automatically. So you've got Hellfire, range 12, heavy d6, strength 2, -0, 1 damage. But it's 2s to wound. Infernum is range 12, heavy 2d6, strength 4, -0, 1 damage, and it's blast. And the Prometheum, range 12, heavy d6, strength 5, -1 and 1 damage. Just start his chainsword. Chainsword's now AP -1, and you get an extra attack as well. You got the Teleport Homer available. Deep striking in, looks like he still has a deep strike more than 9 inches away from enemy models. So then you've got Unflinching, so they're auto pass on morale, which is okay. They've got Combat Squads, Angels of Death and Mixed Unit, and then 5+ invuln save for the Terminator. Deathwatch Terminator Squad, I don't think I really need to go through much with these, just for the fact that they are now 3 wounds, which is a welcome bonus for Terminators. The Veteran Bike Squad, I don't think I need to go through much with them. 3 wounds each now for them. And then the Corvus Black Star, I doubt very much this has changed. Here, still 14 wounds, toughness 7, strength 8. The Black Star Rocket Launcher will cover that, range 30. Range 30, heavy 2d3, it's a blast weapon, strength 5, -1 damage. Hurricane Bolters, Storm Strike Missile Launcher, which is heavy 1, strength 8, -3 and 3 damage. Twin Assault Cannon, usual rules. Twin Laser Cannon, usual rules. The Auspex Array, each time the bearer makes a ranged attack, the target does not receive the benefits of cover. And the Infernum Halo Launcher, each time a ranged attack made by an aircraft model is allocated to the bearer, add 1 to any armor saving throws made against that attack. So being attacked by other aircraft. Nice bonus. Talks about your different war gear loadouts. Airborne, supersonic, hard to hit. Hoverjet explodes, and here we are, the Black Star Cluster Launcher. In your movement phase, after this model has made a normal move or advanced, you can select one enemy unit this model moved across If you do, roll 1d6 for each model in the unit, up to a maximum of 10d6, and it's mortal wounds on 6s, so I don't think that's changed. Transport capacity, you still cannot transport Primaris, that was expected, and it's 12 models. Points values, we'll do a little sprinkling here. So Cassius is 100 points. The Codicia should be cheap. 100 points for him. Artemis 110. The Watchmaster 125. I'm not going through all the war gear. Black Shields 25 points. Regular models 20. Kill Team Cassius 9 models. Total cost is fixed. All the war gears pre-chosen. 260 points for the unit. Elites, the Deathwatch Terminators 33 points a time, Veteran Bike Squads 30 points a time, Corvus Black Star 180 points plus war gear. It's not too bad actually, the points cost. And that is about it, just weapons profiles and summary, and a reference at the back. That is the review for Codex Supplement for Deathwatch Space Marines. So it's okay, seems alright. It seems okay. Yeah, just a bit. Maybe I'm missing stuff here. Sometimes I don't want to complain about a supplement because I may have missed a load of stuff. But for what I've seen, it's okay. It's okay. Not too bad. Maybe check out see what other Deathwatch players are saying. Whether they feel that they've missed out or whether they feel that they're just happy with the Codex. It seems fine. I mean, at least it's come quite early for Deathwatch players. Games Workshop have got this produced nicely in time for them, one of the first of the factions to get one of the new shiny codexes from Games Workshop. So that's good news, as it's alright. I mean, the core rules to these are easy to remember and pretty good. You know, rerolling your ones to hit, choosing a battlefield roll and rerolling your ones against that type. These are all straightforward bonuses that can be remembered during the game. So that core base of extra rules is good, and then just complementing it with the other rules that are available. It's not too bad. One of the main strengths, I guess, of Deathwatch is their fantastic flexibility, you know, the structure of their units and so on. So perhaps that's a strength that's worth tapping into. And there's some pretty good stratagems, not too bad. So all in all, it's an okay supplement, I think. So we'll see. But as I said, you need to check out what other Deathwatch players are saying. You know, those who are experienced at playing Deathwatch, and compare the previous rules to this new set. By all means, leave your comments. I'd appreciate if you hit the thumbs up. It's easily done. Just that thumbs up button on the video. And when you leave a comment, it actually helps the video out as well. So that's all very much appreciated. Check out gamingfigures.com for discount 40k. You can go on there now and buy some Deathwatch models. And then thanks also to Games Workshop for sending me a copy of this book ahead of time. That's the video. Keep a lookout for more reviews on the channel. Check out the reviews that are already available. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time.